Wow, that's really far away. So let's see. Hey guys, haven't been in front of a camera for a while. Feels kind of weird in all honesty. My lighting does look a lot better now. As you can tell, there's nothing on the wall behind me, but there's still a little bit of brown under down here. I've been redoing my room. Got a new bed, so the tripod's on there, so that's why I shifted up. I had to zoom in a little bit to make it seem a little bit more normal. I got new lights. I'm repainting that wall, but you guys didn't even know what the color that one was to begin with. I'm gonna redo the door. That's just gonna be white though. It doesn't matter. That's not what you're tuning in for. I've actually taken a bit of a hiatus from filming, especially like this, and doing more comparisons. I've even delayed some of my unboxing videos, because I have 2 of them now, as well as video I need to do on the update of my blood python. I think 3 new snake species that I own, as well as 3 new morphs for hognoses. This is more to talk about why I've been on the hiatus that I've been on. Simply put, I had a crypto outbreak in my collection. Crypto is a shortened term or shorthand for Cryptosporidium serpentis. Cryptosporidium serpentis is a parasite that embeds itself into the intestinal lining and in some cases also the lining of the stomach of snakes. There's also Cryptosporidium parvo, Cryptosporidium, or it's parvum, not, is it? I can't remember. And there's, God, what was the other one? There's one for geckos, but Cryptosporidium is just a parasite, and then the strain, well, the second name is a specific species, and species pretty much narrow in on specific groups. Serpentis snakes, but I've had this looming threat in my collection for who knows how long. It explains why I've had a lot of snakes that all of a sudden were very healthy and fine, just keeling over, and certain snakes like Azura, for example. Those of you who've watched for a while, that was my first axanthic hognose. No matter what she would eat, no matter how much, she would never gain any weight, and she would eventually lose it all off, and she ended up passing away. Despite my best efforts, I thought it was just on me being a bad keeper, so I improved my husbandry to a little bit more of a higher standard. At that point, I'm using bins for now, but I do plan to upgrade, but I'll talk about that in another video. I have another dog. I don't know if the other pug was in any of the other videos, but not pertaining to this. So basically, to get like the short end of the story, I've lost about half of my collection to crypto. It's been a tough time. In all honesty, after my first bout of euthanasias, I really wasn't sure if I wanted to be part of this hobby anymore, because this was years of effort, a huge culmination of my effort, actually, my improving talents and care, all down the drain. And I lost a lot of animals that I really cared about in the process. I'm still not particularly pleased, because if Azura, my first axanthic hognose, did have crypto, and she was one of my first snakes with it, I'm not particularly pleased that I asked for that test to be ran, and it never was. I went through my records, I wasn't charged for it, but I did specifically ask for them to test for it, and I was told that that wasn't necessary, that hog noses are just goofy like that and don't eat, even though the problem, and they weren't really listening, that particular vet wasn't really listening to me, was problem was that she was eating more than all my other snakes and losing weight. And the vet said that I just needed to cool the room down and that it'll work itself out or something along those lines. And it clearly didn't if she had crypto, because I ended up losing her, Ducky, God, that's just such a long list. To put it into perspective though, because I've lost so many snakes, out of the snakes that have already been established on the channel, sheesh, I only have 2 Mexican hognoses, which that number never changed, 1 tricolor hognose, that number did change, and then out of the hognoses, the Western hognoses that have been on this channel, I only have 3, which is a huge change, because at one point I had, I think, 14 or 15 snakes as a whole, and I only now have 1 ball python, which I only ever had 2, but still, I lost one of my ball pythons. Actually, both the snakes I bought at the Florida Expo. I'm trying to remember if herping in Florida, and within that video, if I showed that I bought Cheerio and Todoroki, my respectively, my God, what was he? He was a striped ball python, but I don't remember which form of stripe. It was the recessive one, G-stripe. That's what it's called. I want to say pinstripe, but I knew that wasn't it. My G-stripe ball python and my first tricolored hognose, both of them passed away during all of this. I've lost a lot of animals in the process of this, so I feel bad for not even having all their names memorized. It's just I haven't really been wanting to think about this for a while. I've kept putting this video off. This is being filmed currently on August 30th, 2021. Hopefully my last passing from crypto was actually last night with Argenta. She passed away. I actually was going to schedule today a euthanasia appointment for next week, but I don't have to now. It's been difficult, but that's why I've been on hiatus, is that I've had an infection spreading through my collection. So my advice to you, the viewer, is that I would highly recommend quarantining your snakes. I did for 3 months. I thought that was good enough. Clearly, it was not. And granted, with crypto, it's one of those harder things. What I was told by my new vet is that it can be a bit more insidious, because sometimes the growth of the snake and their consumption of food is able to outweigh the negative effects of crypto for long enough for you to not realize that they have it, until they clearly do have it. The intestinal lining is completely damaged. They can no longer absorb nutrients, and they start starving to death regardless of how much they eat. Now I have no clue who my patient 0 was. It could have been one of the many wild caught things that have been into this house, because cryptosporidium can stay dormant. I've read anywhere between 3 months and 8 months online. So they can stay dormant outside of a host for a very long period of time. The only real way to sanitize against it is very, very concentrated ammonia or hydrogen peroxide or peroxide. Those are the only things that actually work well. Bleach won't kill it. It won't even really phase it. And the 3 chemicals I listed, which actually is peroxide and hydrogen peroxide, the same thing. God, I need to review my chemistry. But out of the chemicals that I listed that are effective, you still need to maintain about 15 minutes of contact at least. Obviously, the higher the concentration, the less amount of time. But with something as virulent as crypto, I would not risk just doing it for 5, 10. I soaked most of my things for at least a couple of hours, just to make sure that it's dead. Nothing could live through that. I've also been handling things with gloves only now. I've been petrified of even touching my snakes that have been exposed, out of fear of spreading it further. So my newer snakes don't even interact with my old snakes. Old snakes are on a plastic cheap rack, and they are still staying in their bins until I can, for 100% certainty, say that they do not have it. Once that happens, then when I start upgrading cages, they will get their upgrades. But yeah, that's mainly what's been going on. Thankfully, my blood python wasn't exposed. Obviously, all my new snakes, they've been in quarantine in separate rooms up until now. And even then, they have not even been on the same side of the room. Like my 3 new Western hognoses, or Plains hognoses, they're actually behind the camera. My bed has like little shelves built into the headboard. They're on that. And then all my exposed snakes and my blood python, I just haven't moved to her, because I don't really have anywhere else yet to put her, because I'm going to be redoing everything in here. But my blood python is still over there, but everything else on there has been exposed, and so all of those are going to be repeatedly tested, to make sure they don't have it. And then I have my other 3 new snakes over, next room over, and I will bring them in here to show. I'm going to have a towel on the desk and just replace that after ever handling, and sanitize the glass underneath, just to avoid any further spreading of anything that I could have. So just that. Any of you watching that keep reptiles, or are going to be potentially thinking about breeding or getting into collecting reptiles, think about parasites. I know crypto is kind of like, a lot of people treat it like the boogeyman, and I was one of the people that was like, that'll never happen to me. It did. And crypto is a serious problem. I feel like it is not talked about enough, because it essentially forces your animals to starve to death. And that's a cruel, cruel way to have to go out. So it just, it should have some more awareness to it. I probably will make a video on sanitization at some point, what I did to help prevent the spread once I've confirmed that I don't have any more, and to confirm that none of my new snakes have it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. You're gonna see me in the same shirt, and the camera's in the same position for a few more videos, because I now have like a whole list of videos that I would like to get to, and I even have the film date and the release dates decided. So my goal is to at least every Monday at least film 1 video, and then the following Friday upload it. I can't remember what week, but one of the weeks is going to be a double feature, and then, well, pretty much all of October is hognose related videos. There might be a double upload at some point in October, because I'm going to be in Florida again, hopefully in October. The trip's all booked. It's just whether or not COVID messes everything up or not, with the Delta strain. That is yet to be determined, so I'm hoping to be in Florida in October. But so there's going to be a lot of hognose related things in October for Hogtober. It's just my funny way of trying to celebrate that. But I've rambled on for about 15 minutes, so I will bid you all an adieu and see you in the next one. And I will see you guys next on the 24th. Right? Yeah. No. Yeah? sometime in September, mid of September. It doesn't seem right that the next one's coming out on the 24th. But, nah. There'll be another one before that, I'm sure. I think it's September 13th. Whatever. Figure that out. I'll see you guys in the next one.